Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Media Mania Podcast, where we're about to give you our live reactions and review of night one of WWE's pay-per-view SummerSlam live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And with me to help with the episode is my good friend of the show, the modern day gentleman, Jerry Swirls. Jerry, welcome to the show again.
What is up, Media Mike? My God, what a SummerSlam! You know,
Man,
I gotta
what a
say,
night
it
one.
was probably gonna go down. It's gonna go down as one of the most memorable, emotional, and dare I say, passing of the torch moments in this
Definitely.
premium
Definitely
live
is.
event.
uh, for night one, there were six matches, and just there are some hits, there were some misses. Let's just get
Absolutely.
right into let's just get right into it from the very first, the first match, Io Sky versus Liv Morgan for the women's championship. What a
Yeah.
back and forth! It was a back and forth match between Io and Liv. Uh, the ending, the ending was it could have been more. Not not the not bad. Could have been more. Both hats off to both women. They put on the women put on a good match. It was a good women's match. Uh, what did you think of? You saw the ending. What did you think of the ending? What did you think of
I
the match?
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get a chance to as we put this all together as best as we could. The ending I saw, I it was good. It was memorable. The little reversal of the Oblivion, and then to be able to actually get you in position for the real Oblivion, I would say it's really good. I think for me, like the one thing that's kind of tone deaf on this is the story. And this isn't anything on WWE or any other person for that matter. Like TKO and the people that want stuff that they want stuff now, and it's just like
Hmm.
in the Queen of the Ring tournament, why is your women's champion in the tournament, and we got there to Io Sky beating Liv Morgan, which gives her a win. SummerSlam, tonight, as we saw with the finish, and don't get me wrong, beautiful Oblivion by Liv Morgan for sure. I want to
Hmm.
ask you a question. Do you think this is actually going to lead to a rubber match between the two? Whether it be like 24 hours from now on Raw, will it be maybe the next premium live event that they do? Like, is there
I
going to
think
be
it'll
more to this?
be. I think it'll be the next premium live event because now they're 1-1. Liv beat Liv beat her tonight at SummerSlam. Io beat her in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So I think they have to have a rubber match because now they're even. They want to know they're going to want to know who really is the best between both of them.
I was just going to say, I think it's a one-upmanship between them. They have great chemistry together. I mean, it's unparalleled. It's unprecedented, in my opinion. Like,
Hmm.
Io being the genius of the sky and Liv Morgan. Can I
Yeah,
get over that theme song that she has? No, but you know
yeah.
what? Liv is gonna
Yep.
live.
Hmm. It was
I gotta say,
it was a good it was a good showing from both women. It, if you had to give it a grade, what was your grade for Io versus Liv for the women's title?
again, for just catching it at the finish, I feel like that's unfair for me to give a proper grade because I would have
Okay.
to go back and watch the full match. So I'm a little bit more undecided. What do you give this grade for their match?
Uh, I I didn't get to see the full match. I saw just like the last couple of minutes, like the last minute or two of it. But it was right now. If I had to give it a grade, just off, I'm not gonna give it a high grade because that's not fair because I didn't see the whole match. I give it a C right now. It'd be a C.
I would say C plus, just to be a little bit generous, because
Yeah.
these women work their asses off, and what they give for us, the entertaining people, and for people like us that actually review this, that are probably from in the near future, which we'll get into at the end of the show. Um, we're going to be in for a treat for when matches like this go on. Like
Hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind. So I'm going to give it a C plus. I would say,
Okay.
that's fair. I would say.
Yeah. So the next match we had was the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Sos Sikoa in a six-man tag match.
You heard that right,
I'm a
people. Solo Sikoa on the babyface side of things, opposed to the
yeah.
Bloodline.
Now I will say, I don't know if you got to see it or not. We saw most of the match, but we missed their entrance. The Usos did a Gears of War themed entrance because SummerSlam tonight was sponsored by Gears of War E-Day, which is coming out in a couple months on Xbox.
Oh, okay. That's dope. I like that. That's really good. I was gonna say, was that what Jacob was wearing with the Gears of War inspired? Okay, that makes a lot of
Well,
sense.
no, because Jacob is the Samoan werewolf. He was wearing a werewolf mask because he's
Oh,
called the
right, right,
Samoan
right.
werewolf.
I figured Jacob
And
Batu was gonna be like a DLC character for Gears of War. That would be
you
cool.
know,
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. That would
I
be kind of cool.
I think he is a. I don't know. I think he's on. I think he is a DLC in the WWE game. But I don't know. I think he's also a DLC in Call of Duty. I think it was in Call because WWE does partnerships with Call of Duty, and Fortnite. So he could be a skin in one of those things, like somewhere.
Yeah, and
But then
considering all the partnerships.
we had LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys come out. They didn't really get any special entrances, but it was a very back and forth match between both teams. You had you had a few spots that didn't look executed pretty like they should have. We were talking about it. We were watching it when Jimmy Uso went flying over the top rope. He looked like he barely just made it over that top rope.
Just a little bit, yeah, for sure. I would say, like, and a lot of the show did have not a whole lot of dives, which I know we'll get to a specific person later in this review that you were talking about during watching this off camera. I think for me, like, the dive should be special. The dive should
Hmm.
mean something, and it's like, I get it. We all want to do this now, and we all want to. It's the future of the business, right? Absolutely. It's the style that everybody wants to work, but it's like you got to know a time and place when to not do that. And that's no knock on Jimmy Uso or anything. It's just whoever is producing and produced that. It's just like maybe it could have been saved
It's
for the
just
other person. Jacob would do great with the dives. I mean, God, like he
and
would have been
it's and it's not whoever produced the match because going back, I remember when the Usos first started doing their tag team, because that was one of the things. Like one would hold the rope down for the other to go over. I think Jimmy has put on more. He's gotten more heavy. He's put on more mass, and it's harder for bigger people to get over that top rope with more weight they have on them. I'm not saying he's not fat. I'm not saying he's fat. He's not. He's not fat by any means. He's not heavy. He's got more muscle mass on him. He's got his brother Jay is like leaner than him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jay's a little bit more lean down. Jimmy has more muscle on him. Excuse me. There was one
Hmm.
spot in particular that I wanted to point out, and it was on the outside with Jacob Fatu and Royce Keys. As Jacob was
Hmm.
on the outside, went charging for near the barricade where the timekeeper's position
Yeah.
was. Royce caught him, did a power slam over the guardrail. Which how often do you get to see that in wrestling? Like
Yeah.
that's a really cool.
Like
I
he just
love
like
that.
he just yeeted him over his shoulder like it was like a sack of potatoes.
Pretty much. He got him over really, really good, and the move was executed safely. I would say, for the most
Hmm.
part, really good stuff. And then we turn over and we see the Uso splash on LA Knight, gets broken, LA Knight kicks out, and then as
Yep.
we think we're gonna see Solo
Like
help out Jay.
yeah, he does the Samoan. No, he hits one of the Usos with the Samoan spike, and then LA Knight goes to the BFT, and LA Knight picks up the win for his team.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say really good finish. From top to bottom, I would say this match served a really good purpose for everybody. Like everybody got something that they needed in, and you kind of remembered. Unlike most multi-man matches, you kind of remembered this one. So kudos
Hmm.
to everybody that was involved. Minus one or two spots or so, but really great match. Honestly, really good match. Really, really
Yeah,
good match. What would you grade it?
I give it a B minus. I give it a B minus.
A B minus?
Yeah.
I would give it a B. Absolutely. I think it served its purpose. It got everybody that they needed. on their spots and timing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get enough of that Jacob Fatu Royce Key spot where Royce just power slammed him or
Yeah,
scoop slammed him
I,
over the
I
barricade.
hope this. I hope it leads to more after this for Royce because he's just kind of been lost in the way of things in WWE. Like he's not found his momentum he needs. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping this leads to more for him and with
I
LA
really
because like
hope.
LA's.
Yeah, I
Oh
was just
God,
gonna say.
oh God, I'm about to do it. I'm sorry for this, but
Go ahead.
LA Knight, he's gotten himself over in WWE and that on his own, and that is one of WWE's no nos. They don't want you getting over unless they want you over.
Which is funny to
And
me. I
yeah, because the same thing happened years ago to Zack Ryder. He got himself over. He went and made the internet title, and they punished him for it. They punished him very much for it.
I feel like this could be the end of LA Knight and the Bloodline saga, or the Bloodline Vortex, if you want to, put a little
Hmm.
spin on
Yeah.
that. To me, he should be the Steve Austin of WWE. He needs to be their champion. Doesn't have to be a long run. Doesn't have to be. He could be. He's here for a good time, not a long time, and he could still go. Honestly, and
Hmm.
honestly, if you give him that rub for the title at this point in time, it should happen. Because man, when I saw Unreal and the clips that have been going around about him going in Gorilla and him and Seth messing up the spot about the briefcase and how it should have been
Yeah.
executed or whatever, it's like, man, like this talent is working his ass off and he's doing everything that he possibly can to, you
Yeah.
know,
From
leave a mark, and the fans love him. The fans love him
yeah,
so much. He's
and
organic as can be.
they showed that on Unreal. He was in Gorilla with Triple H, and he was just like you just see it in his face. He just like he just looks done with it. He looks done with it. He just looks done.
and and it's not. We're not trying to pick on anybody. It's just like that's just sad to see a guy like him
Hmm.
be used for what he used. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Like, do you think that there's a possibility that if his contract lapses, should he resign or should he go to somewhere else and maybe the right company will be able to bounce him off? Because honestly, I I know he did. I know it ended sour grapes in TNA, but I mean, TNA right now needs a star. If LA Knight, and this is just fantasy booking, we're just putting this out there. I feel like LA Knight would do really well in NWA or in TNA and be their champion, and he could be the guy that runs with the ball.
I hate to be this guy, I really do, because I try not to be the guy that bashes. But if WWE is not going to give him the ball to run with and let him quarterback it for a while, I think he should like sit at home. Like if WWE doesn't want you, sit at home, let his contract run, and just tell him, give him the finger on the way out. Say, hey, I'm gonna go do something else, and I'm gonna go be bigger without you.
Respect
And
that.
you don't, and it's not just. And I don't want to say he's gonna go to TNA or NW or even AEW because like not everyone needs to go to AEW.
No, not
You have
everybody.
Japan you could go to. You have MLW.
Canada.
You have Maple. Hell, he could go to Maple Leaf up in Canada, and they're putting on a hell of a product. Like there's
Oh my
so
god.
many places he could go.
Absolutely. Any place that I feel like LA Knight could go, he will take the ball and he will run with it, and that company that will utilize him will treat him right. Honestly, to me, I could see him as an NWA because honestly, the NWA sure they have a great roster, but you need a star, a mega star. Eli Drake would. I can't believe I'm saying this. Eli Drake as NWA World Champion.
You
Who
didn't
would have?
say, or I'm sorry, I have to correct you. It's not Eli Drake. It's Eli Drake. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think he could be a guy that could hold the 10 pounds of gold in NWA
Oh man.
because their roster it's not.
It's not the greatest, but you know
They
what? There's some good talent on there too, and I
there
will
is
vouch for some friends that are there actually as well. Like,
like I have a couple people I know like Alex Taylor, uh, see Kerry Morden,
yep, Kerry Morton. I was gonna say, Damien
Kenzie
Ferner,
Page,
Damien,
Kenzie Page.
Ruthie J.
Big Al from JCW has been showing up there lately. Paige
Yes.
Collette, aka the Ring Rat from JCW. Like they're starting to find their footing again. Like they've had their ups and downs, and I think they're about to
Yeah.
go back up again. They just need to get a better TV deal because their TV deal is all over the place right now.
Well, they are getting good ratings. I do know that from their TV deal as well. So they are doing something right. It's just, I feel like broadcasting and everything for people to want to tune in more, you do need. I really wish they could go back to Tubi. I would love to see them go back
Yes,
to Tubi, honestly, in my
they're
opinion.
on Tubi. They're on Tubi.
One of their seasons is, I do know that. So
It's
I
on the
hope.
current season's on there. Like the current season is on there.
Oh, so that's what the. Okay. Again, you're right. This actually counteracts with what you were talking, what I was trying to vouch for, and you were right.
So
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I do think that there does need to be a better TV program for them, for
yeah,
sure, and so they could be able to promote it a little bit more. Honestly, I think it's a matter of time before the NWA finds that star. They've got, because they, like you said, the roster, it's not mediocre and it's not lackluster. It's kind of trying to get people over right now, and it's trying to find that spot to where there are guys on there that should be champions, and there are guys on there that, well, need to be made champions. So I mean,
yeah.
time will only tell with that.
So the next match we had was the Ring General Gunther versus the National Treasure Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis' the very first match in WWE since signing with WWE a couple years ago. And I gotta say,
Can
Nick
we talk about?
Aldis,
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Can we talk about Nick Aldis for a second and just his
yeah, of
journey?
course,
I would
of
love to
course,
just dive into this. I know from when he started in wrestling and from where he came from, the show Gladiators in the UK, to be
hmm
presented as an actual gladiator, to have gone to that, done that, British Invasion with Doug Williams and Rob Terry, to winning the tag titles in Japan, in New Japan, and in TNA. Honestly,
yeah,
and just to see his trajectory from there after that, he was taken off for a little bit, came back, was in the new Main Event Mafia, won the TNA
yep,
championship in one of the darkest periods possible. I
yep,
mean, there's no denying that. But this guy is puts on a wrestling clinic like no other.
hmm
And he carried, as we talked about earlier, the NWA. He
yep,
was their champion. He was their guy when nobody was watching it, when nobody was around. I mean, hell, he had a great barn burner of a match with Cody Rhodes. I'm showing
hmm
love to Nick Aldis here because this guy truly deserves it. He's truly earned
like
it. And
I think it was at the very first All In, him and Cody just put on a banger of a match for the 10 pounds of gold.
got
And you were right. Like I remember first seeing Nick Aldis when he was Magnus as part of the British Invasion with Doug Williams and Rob Terry. And I was like, okay, this is the new British Bulldogs. This is going to be the TNA version of the British Bulldogs.
Yes, they had that feel to them. They almost had like the grittiness, the work ethic. British Bulldog. Magnus was the British Bulldog. Davey Boy
hmm
Smith and Doug Williams was your Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
Like they
And
were.
Rob Terry, like, Jesus, Rob Terry, what a.
I know. He still looks like that. He actually still looks like a machine. Like
Yeah.
it's
He is the
incredible.
biggest like to me, he is a big what if in TNA's footnotes. Because I think he only won the tag titles one time, I believe.
No, he won the global. I think he won the global championship, the little big red belt that they had in TNA.
Yeah, yeah. Rob
That
Terry,
I don't remember. I know
TNA.
he won a tag title with someone. I don't remember who though.
Yeah, I'm about to see. He won. He won.
Regardless,
Yeah, he won the global championship. I'm sorry. Yes, he won the TNA global championship one time. That is
okay,
the only title he won. He was with TNA for over 10 years. He won one title.
crazy. Isn't that crazy? And all the character
hmm
reinventions that guy's been through. But before we
Yeah.
get up, but
Yeah.
for Nick Aldis to get his moment, to get his flowers that he truly deserved, this was his one shot. And honestly, he over delivered. He
hmm
made expectations were blown out of the roof for a lot of people, I think, because people online were saying this was going to be a squash match, this was going to be 3 minute
Yeah.
deal. Like people didn't know anything about him, but it's like this guy just proved everybody wrong. And What was funny to me was I actually looked this up. People were chanting, "You still got it." He's 39 years old, guys. He's not that
Yeah.
old. Like,
No, he's
but
not.
he listen. Anyway, the match itself:
Yeah.
Gunter versus Nick Aldis.
hmm I
What a
went back.
wrestler!
We missed his entrance, but I
I
went back and
know.
rewatched. I went back and rewatched it on a highlight, and he just looks like $1,000,000.
I was gonna say he looks like he's in shape. He looks tremendous. His abs were showing, like the whole physique. Like, I'm not gonna
hmm
lie. Like, I not only just saw like the national treasure, I saw a little bit of Magnus in there for a second. Like,
hmm
I don't know. There's something. I hope this isn't a one-off, and I don't think it is. I think he's going to be wrestling on the full-time roster now after showcasing what he can do. You
hmm
know, he's the youngest. It's crazy to even say this. Like, in he's one of the younger guys on the roster right now, and that's kind of crazy to think about. You
Yeah,
know,
it is crazy. And Gunther made him look like $1,000,000. Like they went in there, and yeah, I saw like people saying, "Oh, this ain't gonna be this is gonna be a one-sided match where Gunther just controlling the whole match." No, Nick Aldis gave Gunther a run for his money.
he stood up to the bully. He stood up to the
hmm
bully, and that was the story that was told, and it was great. It was amazing, and
hmm
the finish was perfect. I would say.
hmm
I would say, damn, one of the few finishes in WWE I could actually remember. You know,
Yeah.
in modern
And then
times.
because he got up the first time, he got up out of it, like he stood back up, and Gunther just brought him right back down, and he just like he tapped right after that. And then after the match was over, out comes his wife, Mickey James, and their kid, and it's just a wholesome moment. And you just and I don't think Nick had anything like to be ashamed of in that match. Like he had, no, I don't think there's anything he could regret about that match. Like even if it, like I'm not saying it is. If that was his only match in WWE, if it is, I hope it's not. But if it is, I don't think he had anything to be ashamed of in that match.
I don't think so either. He has nothing to be ashamed of. I think he had a big for his age. He had a chip on his shoulder, and again he put on a wrestling clinic.
hmm
Went the distance with Gunther, and every move mattered with what he did. The the cloverleaf. I mean, gosh,
hmm
how long ago has it been since we've seen that in a
Yeah,
WWE ring?
and and you saw Gunther like he kept Gunther in it for a good couple minutes.
Oh, he did, and he kept him. He was stretching. I mean, even at the end, you saw Gunther. He was like,
Yeah,
you could
he was
tell
like,
he was
"What
like,
the?"
son of a
He's like,
bitch.
"What have I done? What have I gotten myself into?"
Literally, I don't think this is it for Nick Aldis. I do think, me personally, and I'm just going to fantasy book this. I think the next night they're going to make him a full time member of the WWE roster, and I think we might have one more title run. I'm not saying it's going to be the world title. It would be cool if that was the case. If it's the world title or the intercontinental or even the U.S. title, whatever it is that he is able to maintain, I think that should be where the trajectory kind of goes. Or if they don't have him wrestling, let him be the coach or a manager like William Regal with somebody, like a
Yeah.
Tajiri or even a, God forbid I say this, Eugene, somebody in that role that could be
Then
part
again,
of.
like we were talking about it, like with All In with him and Cody. Like Cody's in WWE right now. Let them run it in WWE. Like they ran it one place, let them run it again.
Let them cook, as the kids say. And speaking of
Like
cooking, what would you give this grade?
I'd give it an A. I'd give this match an
You
A.
give it an A, really?
An A.
Okay. I would say an A too. A minus, A plus. I would say an A as well. I think that's fair for what we saw, for the expectations we were thinking of this going to be.
It
It
was
was blown out of the water.
it was.
Nick Aldis. We're hoping that you're on the roster full time, and we hope to see you in a WWE ring more than once. Let's hope
Yeah.
and pray for that.
Yeah. The next match we have is Fatal Influence versus Paige and Brie and Nikki Bella in a six-woman tag match.
Well,
What a clusterfuck.
I want to hear what you have to say first. I'm gonna save mine till the end. What do you have to say about this?
Okay. So we had Bree come out first by herself. Then we had Paige, and Nikki Bella was the last one to make her entrance of their team. Which I feel like, why did you not have the Bellas come out together if they're a tag team by themselves already, and have Paige do her entrance by herself? Give them all their own spotlight. I get you only have so much time for each match, but to cut the women short, what does that does that not just maybe just feel wrong that they're cutting the women short?
No, it definitely does feel wrong. I feel like the woman should have had a lot more time. It felt like they cramped so many spots in that they didn't get a chance to call anything. And to me, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Lane, the whole fatal
Lane
influence of the
Reed,
show,
yeah.
they deserve. They're the top heel women's faction in WWE right now. They should be,
Hmm.
and they got the win too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like they need to be.
Yeah.
They are special. All three of those women are special, and they deserve that. Yes, we know the Bella twins. We know the legacy. Yes, we know Paige, of course. But again, I have a lot I got to say about the finish and at the end. So I want you to. I really want to hear what you have to say, like about you know that.
There were some spots that just looked like they weren't timed right. There were some botches in the match. And I hate talking about botches, but when there's so many in one match, you can't just ignore that.
Oh, you can't.
And
Hey,
yes, it goes back to their time being cut short, and they probably didn't have enough. They had to do so much. They had to cram so much into the little bit of time they had. Well, then you had Bree. Like Bree was probably Bree showed like she got to show like a lot of her moves she takes from her husband Brian Danielson, like the yes kicks, and she does the yes chant. She does the yes and all that. She does the dives like her husband. But I think like out of the two Bellas, she's always going to be the more talented one between the two. The ending, JC Jane picking up the win for her team. I feel like JC is kind of like she's supposed to be the leader of her own group, but she doesn't even but she has no title right now. Like she's kind of like her two other members, they're champions, and she's not. So I feel like she's the odd one out in her own group. Like she's the leader, and she's the odd one out right now. So with a win over Paige and the Bellas, they helped define an era of women's wrestling. They helped start the revolution to get more for women's wrestling. So I think if with that win, I hope they do more with JC because JC has been around since her time with Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan, aka Priscilla Kelly, in Fatal Attraction and NXT. So I feel like this needs to have some kind of payoff for JC Jane now.
I agree with you. I think JC Jane's time is going to come. I think it's just a matter of timing. And if you really think about her time in NXT, she ended up becoming a star. Like she ended up winning.
Hmm.
She won the NXT championship. She's
Yep.
been to the tag team champion too over there when they had
Yep.
women's tag titles. I think it's just if timing works out for her and everything, because I know what she can do as a talent with everybody that's getting on the roster. Obviously, Liv Morgan having a heel match when it makes sense, and then I think whoever the interim champion is, because it looked like there was going to be a feud between her and Rhea Ripley heading into SummerSlam. I think that was going to be her moment, but
Yeah.
I think they want to cool off on that right now, and they can just focus on the whole group and all together. And whoever
Well,
becomes that
the
interim champion,
that
okay,
that was the scheduled match, but Rhea, as you know, she is out injured, and we don't know what the timetable for her return is. That's why they're crowning the interim champion. But I do that was the planned match, and I think maybe JC. I don't know if JC would have won, but she would have definitely had her moment to shine with Rhea. So that's just going to be a what if. That's going to be a what if of what could have been with that match.
absolutely. I think it's going to that's going to hover over, and I think they let's hope they revisit that, and let's hope that whoever the interim champion is, that JC Jane gets first dibs and first crack at it. So we'll see with that.
Yeah. Like
This,
I hope Rhea doesn't have to have surgery because that's like
oh yeah,
to be real for any wrestler. I don't care if you're a heel or a babyface. Like when you're injured, that takes time off your career.
absolutely. It's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you, being injured. And even though I know times are a lot more different now, I would say people worrying about their spots and all this other stuff and losing that momentum. Let's hope and pray that this isn't going to lead to surgery for Rhea Ripley, and she's able to come back and be able to,
And the title.
essentially not lose the title that she never lost, and that she's still the champion right now.
Yeah.
It'll be a matter of time, and we'll
What do
have it.
you think about them? Like I don't want before like I want to get back to your thoughts on the match, but what do you think about them making a interim women's champion? Like, what do you think? Because there's been like AEW has done that for their champions when they need a champion. They've done an interim champion. What do you think about WWE doing it now? They've done it before, but it's been a while since they've really done it.
So here's my thing about that. It used to be back in WWE and just wrestling as a whole. If you didn't defend the title for 30 to 90 days, you were stripped of the championship.
Yeah.
AEW introduced the interim deal with Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara with the TNT title. I think that was the first time they kind of introduced that. Ring of Honor's done it a few times, and AEW kind of does this still to this day. I mean, with Jon Moxley, he was an interim champion too.
Mm-hmm.
WWE introducing it now, it feels weird. It feels kind of weird. It's like you can't rely on the one person that doesn't really need the title. And I'm not. And listen, Rhea Ripley's over. She could go, honestly. If it was in a perfect world, she could go with the guys. She could.
Yeah.
She's one of the few exceptions. She is the China hybrid. She is the China
Mm-hmm.
blueprint, if you will. And
Yeah.
to me, introducing an interim title just means in WWE, well, is this going to be a point where they unify the titles? Is this going to be a thing where we see both championships unified? Like, because remember, the only time we've had title unification for the same title, no less, goes all the way back to like '93 with Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels when Shawn was serving a suspension, and Razor Ramon was the champion at that time, beating Rick Martel on Monday Night Raw. And
They
then you
also did it
see
with Cena and Orton too, and they both put their titles up.
they did it with Sami Zayn during the pandemic era when he was
Yeah.
still the Intercontinental Champion, and he had a visa. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was a visa issue or something. I don't remember what it was
Yeah.
exactly.
Something.
But WWE to introduce this now in the game, and as everybody else has finally been doing it, it just feels weird. I'm not saying you can't have an interim champion. I feel like it should just make sense. Like don't just tell it on social media. I mean, I guess Adam Pearce announced it that there was going to be an interim champion on SmackDown,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
And that's
It
one of the
just feels
matches
like
for tomorrow. That's one of the matches tomorrow night on night 2 of SummerSlam. So we'll see how that goes. But what were your thoughts on the 6-woman tag match with Fatal Influence and the Bellas and Paige? Like, what was you said you wanted to wait till I gave mine. What is your thoughts on the match?
3 words. Well, actually, I don't know if it's 3 words, but lol, Nikki Bella heel turn. Okay, that's 4 words. There you go. Wow. We're going into this trope, the Bella trope again. They could not have planned that finish out any more clear as day. Like the moment Nikki Bella came back from
Yeah.
injury, I just looked at it and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna turn on Paige. And they're gonna have a whole Total Divas kerfuffle all over again. I'm not saying it's gonna exactly be like Total Divas or anything like that. And
I think it's gonna be a WrestleMania 31 throwback, and I think AJ Lee is gonna come and help Paige, and they're gonna run that match back again. So they're just digging into the past. They're digging into the past because I don't know if they have anything for the Bellas right now. I don't know if they have anything else for them.
that's the crazy part. It's like you could have avoided the fact of having another heel turn. It's like it was just the moment Paige moved Nikki Bella out of the way and everything went down and Paige took the finish from JC Jane. I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna turn them heel when they didn't really need it. They did it. They
Yeah.
really did. And actually, let me phrase that. Nikki Bella's the only one that turned heel. Brie was just kind of sitting there, pacing
Yeah.
back and forth, like conflicted almost. It's
Yeah.
just, I felt like the Bellas could still be faces, and they could still chase the tag titles. If
What
anything, they
like
could have just done something in the back, like, oh, like we need to be the tag team champions, but Paige, you're here. You need to go do your own thing, something like that.
yeah.
Like kind of like with Rhea
Io
Ripley
and
and Io
Rhea.
Sky,
Yeah.
Ero. Yeah, that
Yeah.
should have it should have been like that, honestly, because I'm tired of, oh well, we need to break up. Well, you didn't cost us a match, but we still love you. But psych, we're gonna turn on you anyway. It should have been. It could have
Yeah.
been something done in the back, like, all right, you're back now, but we now know the real thing. It has to be the Bella Twins that have to go after the tag
Tag titles.
titles, and Paige can go do her own thing and go chase the title that she's never really gotten to accomplish. That she hasn't had in a long time, because
Yeah.
she was the NXT and the Divas champion. I don't think she's ever won the Red or the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championships before, did she?
She only won the Divas. She won the NXT championship and she won the Divas title
So
before.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like Paige should go after that, not go after the Bellas. That's just me personally. I want Paige to
Yeah.
be a women's champion again.
Speaking of Nikki, do you think Nikki has much time left as an active competitor? Because she's had she's had her neck injuries and all these other things that have like caused her to lose years on her career. Like, do
Not to
you think
mention all the,
she?
like, not the stuff with her ex-husband that's been going
Yeah,
on.
and
You know,
she's a mom. Like, she's a mom too. So it's like,
I feel like this is going to be the end of Nikki's run. I feel like if this next year, going into 2027, I think it'll be in the middle of 2027 that she hangs it up. Like, whatever the feud with Paige is, let it fizzle out into whatever. Then let the Bellas rebuild. Whoever the tag team champions are at that point, let them go on a hunt for it. Let them hold the championships. Maybe even do like a retirement run with the titles. Like the next person that beats us, we're done. We're both done.
yeah,
It should kind of be something like that. I feel
okay,
like and the persons, and the team that should take it off of them should be an established women's tag team. Like, not
okay,
two people that are thrown together, like an
yeah,
established women's tag team. So
yeah.
somebody to pass that torch on over to as we
Well,
segue on. What would you give the grade of this match?
I'd give it a C minus. I'd give it a C minus.
C? You're gonna be
Yeah,
generous? I'm gonna give it a D.
it has some good. It
That's
has
some good
some good
stuff.
in it.
No, no, no. It's just that finish is gonna be ingrained into my head, where it's the Bella trope will always live on in
Yeah,
my. All right, D
yeah.
plus.
I'm thinking, and because I don't know if you saw this or not, it was happening just the other day. Victoria Crawford, aka Alicia Fox, known in WWE, she just got her release from TNA. I think she might come back and realign with the Bellas
Oh
in
gosh,
WWE.
Team Bella, baby. I was a fan of
Yeah,
Team
that
Bella
perfect
back in
game.
the day. I was a fan of Team Bella. Them, PCB, and
Yes.
Team Bad with Sasha Banks,
Yeah.
Naomi, and Tamina. Okay, that was actually a good trio. I would actually like to see
Yes.
that. Let's hope that happens.
So you said your grade is what?
C
D?
minus. I'll give it
C
a C.
minus?
Yeah, I'll give it a C minus. I was just joking.
Okay. So the next match we have is Corporate Monopoly Punk versus the American Crybaby Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. And just even not the match, bell hasn't even rung yet, and Cody's entrance alone with the Street Fighter themed mask with the hair. What jackass and creative thought? Oh yeah, let's combine his Street Fighter character with his iconic mask that he's used to wearing, and came up with that farce.
Hey man, corporate branding, man. This is the future,
No,
baby.
no,
This
no,
is the
no, no.
future. Come on.
To quote Paul Heyman, no, 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 no.
Hey man, we gotta get that sponsorship. That Street Fighter money's gotta come in one way or another for WWE.
Oh
Oh, the
God,
mask was
no.
something. The mask.
Cody kept looking at it like I think even Cody was like, what? I think even Cody was like, hmm, maybe not
So
again. Not that we won't be doing this again.
now we do want to mention during his entrance, he had a black robe, he had no
Hmm.
weight belt, and he wore that mask, the questionable one that you do not like. Um, it showed signs of a heel turn. It showed signs of like a heel presentation for Cody.
And he did some heelish things in the match. He played he tugged out he was tugging that line a little bit tonight. And then you had your guy come out, Corporate Monopoly Punk, who looks like he oh god, the match wasn't even over yet and I think it was like barely halfway and he was gassed. He was ready to for those in the business, he was ready to take it home. He looked gassed. You gotta say he did look gassed.
Well, as we know, Punk hasn't been on television in a while, and it could. I mean, it's a plethora of a lot of things. For what the match was, though, however, it was okay. It was a good match. It's just like, man, that elbow drop off the top rope to missing the announcer table onto Cody, and just his head bouncing back off of that. Like,
Yeah.
that was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, that scared me. And then just some little things, really, like. But that's just like when you're working a long match like that too. Like, there's so much that could go into. I
I
don't
hope
know.
he's okay.
Like Punk being
I'm not
gassed
a
was
Punk
one thing.
fan. I'm not a Punk fan, but I hope Punk is okay after that because that looked very scary.
I I really do hope he's okay too. And I am somewhat of a Punk fan because I grew up watching him as a kid and looking up to him. But obviously, in recent times, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. Like, in my opinion, I do hope he is okay overall. Cody Rhodes, same thing goes for him as well. I mean, the match was great. The match was good for what it was and for everything that
Yep.
they put into it. It's just something to me is amiss. I mean, as we can mention earlier, as we mentioned and we saw
Hmm.
it, we. I thought it was Triple H at first. I was like, "Oh my God, Hunter's here! Oh my God, it is true. He is corporate Monopoly Punk." But turns out it was the man with the three most dangerous letters in professional wrestling,
RKO.
RKO. Randy Orton is back, baby.
And he
Now,
screwed Cody. He screwed Cody.
you haven't seen Randy Orton since WrestleMania. Now, my question to you is this: do you think that this is actually going to lead to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes feud, and this gets Cody away from the WWE title? This could be a thing that maybe builds him back up.
I
And who
hope
wins the
so.
feud?
I think. Oh, this is just me hoping. I hope we get a double turn. Cody, Randy ends up turning face at the end of the feud, and Cody finally pulls the trigger on his former mentor and goes Homelander. Cody.
Hmm. I do feel like that's going to happen at some point, and I think they're going to stretch the heel Cody out a little bit longer, maybe almost to the point where they could revisit it at some point, and eventually Cody Rhodes passes the torch, or Cody Rhodes passes the torch. Randy Orton's going to officially pass the torch to Cody Rhodes.
What little torch is there? Like, here's this little torch. Here you go.
The little flame, like, here you go, Cody. Here's the flame. Here's
Yeah.
the flame. Run with it, baby. Run with it while you still have time.
And you were saying this yourself that Punk has become everything he once stood against. Like, let's go back to his famous pipe bomb. He was saying, "Oh, I'm not on the opening package of the show. I'm not on this. I'm not on the special cups or any of that." But yet, people were still coming to the airport at 3 in the morning, shoving it in his face, trying to get an autograph because they didn't want to go get a real job. They wanted to just get merch and like sell stuff on eBay. But now he's on the opening video. He's their champion. He has all this merch. He has all these figures. He's going on talk shows. He's doing movies. He's become everything he once hated.
He got what he wanted. He finally got what he wanted, in a sense, if you think about it. So,
now I'm gonna ask you this, and this is very hypothetical. Do you remember when Cody was doing that whole thing with The Rock, and The Rock was saying, "I want your soul"? Do you think Punk took that took Dwayne up on his offer that he offered Cody?
I don't know. And honestly, I really don't think so. I don't know if The Rock's ever going to come back into WWE. I really don't. I think he'll be on the board. I mean lately the movies that he's been doing, have not been great. But yeah, there you go. Live action Moana does not hit, brother. Maybe it does. Maybe I haven't seen it
No,
personally, so I can't really
no,
think on my assumptions.
no.
I'm just looking at the
Again,
reviews and stuff.
To quote Paul Heyman, no, 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 no.
So I think The Rock is going to come back, but I don't think they're going to mention him in the storyline with Cena, Cody, Travis Scott, and all that. I think he's just going to come back and he's going to feud with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. I think that's just
Okay.
going to be it, and that's where he hangs his boots up finally and gets ahead of the time inducted into the next year's Hall of Fame. That's my opinion.
So,
I think that's what's going
so,
to happen.
so,
I
what would you give the grade for Cody versus Punk?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match or anything like that. There was just some stuff where it's like, again, little things that count. I would give this a B minus. I would say it was a
Okay.
B minus grade in my opinion. I think that there was just some stuff that told a good story. It's just they're testing that line with Cody on the on the heel turn.
Yeah.
Like they're really,
Yeah.
really like it's gonna get to a point where people don't are gonna expect it. It's gonna be like Super Cena all over again. It was great to see
I
Randy Orton come back. That
yeah,
actually, in a sense, that does bump the grade up a little bit. So I give it like a
yeah.
solid B,
A B. I'd give it a B minus. I'd give it a B minus.
a B minus. Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna say I think Randy Orton kind of saved this match altogether in a
Yeah.
sense, and with his appearance,
Yeah.
and the crowd cheered him. The crowd cheered him for costing Cody. If you think about it,
All
so
right. Well, our main event for night one of SummerSlam in Minneapolis was Hell in a Cell with the Beast Brock Lesnar versus the Ruler Oba Femi.
short, sweet, simple, and overall perfect.
My moment from that match was when Brock cut the apron, like he tore the apron, like he tore the canvas.
With all those
He pulled the
sponsors on
padding
there,
up.
by the way, all those
Sponsor.
sponsorships. Ugh, every fan had to be going gaga when that happened. I'm sorry, I had to point that out. I know I was.
I did not think they're gonna go that far with it, like exposing the wood and all, because God Almighty, taking a bump you already don't have much protection with the padding, but when you take all that away and just have the wood, oh that had oh that, and then Brock pulled out he went into his history. He went into his history book and he pulled out a tombstone pile driver on Obafemi onto that solid wood. And oh my God, Obafemi kicks out at 2 out of a tombstone pile driver. Not only that, Brock went full Undertaker. He did the whole pose, like the whole pinning pose and all that. And he was ready to tell Oba to rest in peace. But that was a hard hitting match. Like it was a short match, but it was a hard hitting match. Like they weighed into each other. Like, they're gonna be feeling it tomorrow.
They're going to be feeling it probably on the way home. And to me, there were so many callbacks. I mean, my
Hmm.
gosh, you talk about it earlier, the tombstone pile driver on the exposed wood. I mean, first of all, when have we ever seen the ring get exposed like that in WWE in a very, very long time? Not since the
Hmm.
Nexus in
Yeah,
2010
and
when
yeah,
when they made their debut and made their
yeah,
presence known and destroyed everything in sight. This outcaked that somehow. And then you also got the callback when Oba hit the power bomb, I think, in the middle of the match, and then Brock just got up like the Undertaker, and it was a callback to
Yeah.
SummerSlam 14.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty
And
cool.
both him and Oba both sat up and just like started kicking at each other. They're like, that's all you got.
It was a moment. It was a great moment for sure.
And even before the bell rang, Paul Heyman did what Paul Heyman did. Got up on the announce table and did his iconic shtick, his whole thing. That, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for your reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion, the Beast, Brock Lesnar.
It was perfect. I mean, Paul Heyman is the manager, the greatest manager of all time.
Oh yeah, that takes my voice to do.
I know it's hard for anybody to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
There will never be another Paul Heyman in this business.
Never. There would never not be anybody close to
And
Paul Heyman.
he's been doing this since the time of hell before ECW. He was doing it before ECW
He was
when he
taking.
had a full head of hair
Yes.
and that big ass telephone, that big old brick phone he used to have.
Do you remember
Oh
his Hall of Fame induction when he pulled out all of
yeah,
his toys and he pulled out the
yeah.
phone? He said,
The jacket.
"Holy shit! This is the
Seriously.
phone I hit Sting over the head with in the '90s."
Yeah, then he said, "Oh my God," he said, "if you think the heart of ECW died in a courtroom, you can suck my dick." He, they let him go with that.
And everybody
You
was
saw,
laughing.
you saw Bully Ray's reaction, and all he could do was laugh and smile.
And how better
Uh,
and how else could you? What better way to go out? As well as what a better way for Brock Lesnar to go out, if that's even
yeah.
true. Let me ask you this: do you think this is the end of Brock Lesnar officially? Do you think this is where he
Mm.
hangs it up officially? Because we saw him at the end as Obafemi hit that power bomb. At the end of the match, Brock Lesnar got up, left the ring. The credits were rolling. He came back into the ring, and he actually acknowledged that Obafemi is the future. And he even said it too: the past, the future. And that was it. And he walked out. Is this the end
I,
of Brock Lesnar? And if not, do we see him at WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia where he finally hangs it up for good?
do you want the truth or do you want the lie?
I want the truth.
I hope so. What better way to go out than your home? Like, this is like Minneapolis. That is he's from Minneapolis. Go out on your sword. He went out on his sword. He went out only like the beast could. He gave Oba a fight. He said, if I'm gonna go with a fight. So I hope Brock's had a hell of a career. He's done it all. He's won the WWE title. He's won titles in UFC. He's played in the NFL. He has nothing left to prove to anybody. If anyone who says he has something left to prove, what do you want him to prove to you? That he could kick your ass? I hope Brock's had a hell of a career. If this is his retirement, if this was his last match, I hope he enjoys his retirement. He's earned it.
He's
Go spend time with your kids. Like go hunting in the woods. Like go live in the woods. Like you're a fucking lumberjack. You have tree trunks for arms.
you want me to you want my truth? Do you want me to tell
Yes.
you my truth? I
Yes.
don't think this is it. I think Saudi Arabia is going to squeeze it out of him one more time, and then whatever that is, that person, will be the net. That'll be it for Brock. There's just nothing. I mean, honestly, I want to believe that it's true, but WWE have played this. Is gonna, as this new terminology is, as they say, TNA is going to TNA. WWE is going to WWE. They're gonna unravel this. TKO is gonna try and keep Brock Lesnar, and you know what? I'll tell you what. If Brock is officially retired by tomorrow or the next day or the next week and we don't hear anything, if WrestleMania time season comes, I will personally shut my mouth and I will wholeheartedly say that you were absolutely 100% right, Media Maverick Mike, Triple M, and I'll even do the job for you. In the middle of the ring, I will lay down and I will let you get the pin on me. I'm serious.
Oh, man. Uh, I don't know who else is there to challenge Brock. Like, what other guy
Nobody.
is there to challenge Brock?
And I'm trying
There's
to,
not.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just know how this company's going to do it, you
You're
know?
not wrong, but like, there's not another guy like Oba. He's faced Roman. He's faced Seth. He's faced Cena. He's faced Cody.
There's
He's faced everyone.
there's nobody for Brock. I hope I'm wrong, but I just know that WWE and TKO are like, we need to keep Brock Lesnar. We need to keep him on here. Like, we
He's
have to.
faced big. There's Big Show. He's faced Braun Strowman, Mark Henry. Who
Oh
else
my
is
God.
there?
Hulk Hogan. He's beat Hulk Hogan. We all forget about that. Triple
Yeah, like
H.
Triple H, Cena.
Yes. John Cena. The many times. The Undertaker. So many times with him as well.
Kofi Kingston.
Oh, come on. Don't bring that up. That wasn't a match. That was a minute. Well, okay. There was
Still, like
Japan, and then there was the 19
he
seconds on Fox Sports debut when he lost his title. I'm salty about that. I'm very, very
hell,
salty about that.
Goldberg. There's been Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
Like, there's no one else. There's no one else that could give that kind of challenge to Brock.
You know what? I'm going to say it, and this might shock you. Danhausen. Think about it. Danhausen is the most overact in
What
WWE.
is it with you and Danhausen? What is it with you and
Nothing.
Danhausen and your
Do
Harlem
you know what I want?
Globetrotters?
You know what I want at Survivor Series in November? I want to see Danhausen and the Minihausens go up against the New York Knicks and the Harlem Globetrotters at the same time. I'm serious when I say that because that is, if you want celebrity endorsements, that is going to be the celebrity endorsement that we need. Think
We already
about
got
it.
celebrity endorsements tonight. We had so many celebrities in the crowd tonight.
They need more. We can only review and see what's in front of us. So if this WWE world of celebrities becoming the norm, we got to think outside the box, brother.
All right. So, what is your final grade for Brock versus Oba?
A plus, straight up.
A plus.
A plus. All kidding aside, this was the thing that we hoped for Oba to get. And I'm even going to piggyback off of somebody who talked about this in a match on YouTube. Actually, this is going to sound out of left field, but Mark Jindrak talked about this on his YouTube channel. That, yeah, and his reasonings, take it for what you will, he's not wrong. Um, Oba had to lose to Brock. We all had to make him feel like Brock was retired at WrestleMania. We all had to feel that and understand that. If anything, this was just a tip of the hat to all of us, the audience. Mark Jindrak broke it down to where it's like, who else is Oba really going to beat after that? After Brock Lesnar, and in a sense, he could have gone on a killing spree and beat somebody, but there was nobody credible enough for him to do. That's why Brock was the one that had to be in that spot and be able to help get this guy over and show vulnerability. Because when Brock won the WWE title, remember, even though we don't want to admit it, when he did those early on promos with Kurt Angle, we saw a bit of a human side with him when he broke away from Paul Heyman and when Team Angle broke up. Kurt came back from the neck injury. We saw all those vignettes. We all got to see how Brock was a human side. And I'm not trying to say we need to make Oba human or anything like that. Honestly, if we had it our way, Oba should have been the killer in that match with Brock at Mania and gone on the spree. But to some people, they want to see a human side, and especially in this day and age of wrestling, they want to see the human side of people, you know. And I really don't want to see. I wish we had it our way. I really do. It's just when you look at it from this angle and see it within, it's just like, man, Oba could just be so much more than what they've been giving him lately as like human side. But it looks like they built up his credibility. They made him mean something. So it's probably something that maybe even you and I just don't see. And we can only do this review, and we can only review it as in front of our eyes. But ultimately, A plus. I give this match an A plus because This is what we wanted from the beginning, and this is what we finally got out of Oba. So A plus for me. What do you bet you?
Uh, I'd give it an A plus. Like they put on like for the short match it was they tore the house down. Like they tore it up. Like you had Heyman, he stayed out there for the whole match. He stayed out there for that whole match outside the Hell in a Cell. He watched that whole match. Like he one last ride with Lesnar. He came out one last time. Hope if this was the last time, I'm hoping it was. So I give it an A plus. They like Brock took Oba to Suplex City. He hit multiple F5s on Oba. Oba hit him with a choke like that choke slam. Then he hit him with that set out power bomb and ended it. So it was an A plus match. A plus.
100%. 100%. Now, night
So
2 is tomorrow.
yeah, what would the overall grade for night one? Overall for night one for all 6 matches, an overall grade for night one of SummerSlam. What would you give night one?
Honestly, I'd give it an A minus. This was the show. I felt like this was the show people should have come to see. I hope night 2 can follow up with that because you had so many things happen in such short. Cody and Punk. You had Oba and Brock in the main event. You had freaking Nick Aldis make his WWE debut after years of being the general manager of SmackDown. You had the 6-woman tag match. You had the women's match opener with Liv Morgan and Io Sky. I mean, and I know I'm missing one right now, so pardon me. Oh, the 6-man tag for what it was too with the men's.
Yeah.
Night 1 blew a lot of people's expectations out of the water, and I think especially the heavy lifting was Oba Brock. For me, it was Oba Brock and Nick and Gunther. Those were the 2 matches that are doing the heavy lifting here because I personally
Okay.
love Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
So A minus
Yeah. Because
overall. What say
night
you?
I say a minus, and you were like night two is the match card isn't that impressive as night one's.
No.
You have Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the 100th time. How many more times are they going to dig in that well?
Fight forever.
Then you have the interim women's championship contenders match with Tiffany Stratton, uh Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair, Chelsea Green, and there's still one more. There's gonna be a mystery entrant. There's gonna be a mystery person that comes out.
Wait, I thought Last Legend was the one.
Oh yeah, Lash Legend. Yeah, she beat Lash Legend. I'm sorry.
They're good.
Then you have Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn for the number one contenders match.
I'm looking
Then you
forward to
have
that.
Danhausen versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. God. And a human money's on a pole match.
Yep. I'm
Come
looking forward.
on,
Oh, come on. Oh,
Dominic
what's your
Mysterio.
gripe with Danhausen?
a
Listen,
proven a proven asset for WWE who has done everything. He's won multiple titles: the IC title, the North American title, the tag titles, the AAA title in AAA,
still the
and you're gonna
champion, by
make
the
him
way.
face and you're gonna have him face Danhausen. Danhausen. Don't get me wrong. I gotta love that Danhausen. Danhausen. He's marketed himself. He's made himself something. But Danhausen, really?
Are you trying to get cursed?
Let him curse me. Let him. Come on. Danhausen, if you're watching this, I
No, no,
want you to
no,
curse me.
no.
I want you to curse me.
Him.
It's you have to
No, no,
curse
no, no.
Jerry
I'm not
too.
here. I'm not taking
Yeah.
that to
You
you.
have to
No,
curse he's
no,
on here too. You have to curse
no.
him. You have to curse Jerry too.
No, you do not curse me, Danhausen.
Then we have Trick Williams versus the returning Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. Honestly, what is there to gain with that match? What's there to gain with that?
Baron Corbin being the United States champion.
Yeah, but if Baron Corbin doesn't win, what does it do for Trick? And if Trick loses, what does it do for Trick?
That is a really good question. I listen. I'm not gonna. It's nice that Baron Corbin's back, I guess, but his first match is on pay per view, and it's for the U.S. title. To
And if
me,
he loses, it kills everything.
it's a lose lose situation for everybody. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like this. That might be the, and I hate saying that, it might be the weaker of the matches,
Hmm.
but we'll
Then you
see.
have there's one match I'm looking forward to. That's Penta versus Chad Gable. That could be a good
Yes,
little match.
that is going to be a good match for sure. I hope they WWE pulls the trigger on Chad Gable and he finally, and I mean finally, wins a singles title, wins the Intercontinental Championship in his hometown of Minnesota. Because we know WWE, they'll let you win in your
Yeah.
hometown, but we also know WWE will let you lose in your hometown. Look at Brock
My
Lesnar.
thing is, my thing is, if Penta drops the title to Chad, what's next for Penta? Do you finally let Penta go team up with his brother Ray Phoenix and let them go after the tag titles?
I feel like you do. At this point, there's no tag teams in the division. They make the
Yeah.
most sense, honestly. Why
But
not?
it's WWE though. WWE is gonna WWE.
It's true. That's true. I I think Chad's going to turn heel during the match at some point. I feel like that's what's going to happen, and we see Chad.
Didn't he just come back as a face though? He just came back as a face.
Oh come on, this is WWE. WWE is going to WWE.
I know.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how night two goes. And ladies and gentlemen, right, you'll see us right back here tomorrow night after night two ends. We hope you enjoyed this reaction. We hope you enjoyed night one of SummerSlam, and you'll catch us right back here. It'll be the media maverick Mike Weldon and the modern day gentleman Jerry Swirls. We'll be right back here for night two, giving our grades and reactions for night two. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you catch us on the flip side.